How's it going, everyone? It's PokeProdz here, back with another Pokemon X Y Wi-Fi battle. Today I'm against N3gro Nick, otherwise known as Sacred Fire N3gro. I wanted to battle this man for a while. I battled him before on one of my streams when I was just beginning. However, we finally have a good battle, so I don't want to waste any time. Let's hop right into it. Here we go. So now I actually know what I'm doing battling Nick. So this made for a very good battle. Now, I lead Fortress and he leads Conkeldurr. I have no fear at this point. I'm like, perfect. He's gonna take Rocky Helmet damage, but he's only gonna take one, so he does knock it off, which does kind of hinder my Fortress a little bit. But Fortress is here to mainly do one thing, and that's set up my hazards. So he already made the stealth rocks up. He already got them set up first turn. So taking that Drain Punch is really no big deal. So now I set up my T-Spikes, and he goes for another Drain Punch. And I actually go down to 15 health on this one. I believe this puts me in range for the Mach Punch. Like, I should have died to a Mach Punch, but I go for the Spikes, and he actually uses the Mach Punch on me, so I'm like, alright. But that's it. So I just die, and I send in Charizard now, and I'm like, okay, well, I can just OHKO this thing real quick with the Flamethrower, unless he's Assault Vest. But if he is Assault Vest, I'll still do a fair amount of damage to him. But I must have scared him out that I brought this in, because he did switch out into Cresselia. Now, I believe he's switching this Cresselia because, I mean, honestly, Cresselia is very specially defensive. However, you'll see how much this Flamethrower does to this thing. It's ridiculous. So Charizard Y goes ahead and hits him off with that Flamethrower, and it does a fair amount of damage. I mean, I cannot lie, ever since this thing is especially defensive as hell. So we'll go ahead and hit him with another Flamethrower, and that's going to knock the Cresselia clean out. Charizard Y putting the mark as per usual. Now he sends in the Thundurus, and I'm not going to lie, I am not too sure what was going through my head staying in against Thundurus. He was clearly going to outspeed me. But anyway, hindsight's 2020. Charizard gets destroyed by a Thunderbolt. So he was carrying Life Orb. I mean, that really didn't affect it too much. I was going to die either way. So I bring in Terrakion now, and I think I scare him out of here. I mean, I would have survived pretty much everything he had. But now he sends in Skarmory, and I actually go for the close combat since I am Choice Banded, and this does a ton of damage considering this thing is physically defensive. This does so much damage, and I did not think it would do anywhere near that. However, I mean, of course, I'm grateful for that. So I go ahead and hit him up in another close combat, knowing I can easily KO him after seeing how much damage the first one did. So that's a dead Skarmory. So far we're looking pretty good. The Sunlight just faded away, no big deal. In comes the Azumarill, and at this point I'm kind of like, damn, it's an Azumarill. So it's got that T-Spike, sure, but I'm like, yeah, Terrakion, you need to get up out of here. The Aqua Jet's nice and real. So I go ahead and send in Trevenant to hopefully eat up an Aqua Jet. However, and that is what he does. Okay, that is, but it's alright. So anyway, that's the end of that. Alright, so now he sends in Rocky B back to Rocky Balboa, I'm assuming. And now he gets poisoned on the entrance. However, he may be Guts. I'm not really sure if it was Guts or not. It could have been Sheer Force. I'm not too sure. However, I hit him with the Horn Leech, and it doesn't do very much damage. I'm gonna be honest with you. This thing's just resisting me, but I had no better switch into this, so I was like, well, might as well stay with Trevenant. And here I actually just completely derp and completely forget that this thing carries the knockoff. And that's what old Rocky Balboa does, goes straight for the knockoff and kills my Trevenant in one hit. So that's all there is to my Trevenant. Trevenant's nice and done for right now. So now I send in Terrakion against old Rocky Balboa, and I'm like, at this point I'm like, the Mach Punch is definitely real, but I can survive one. So he does go for the Mach Punch, and it does a ton of damage. It does a shit ton. But I do survive with 29, barely living, and go ahead and hit him with that close combat real quick. So that's going to take out the Conkeldurr, no problem. But now Nick sees this as an opportunity to easily KO my Terrakion. So he sends in the Azumarill. Azumarill takes the entry hazard damage again, which is always good, always good. But I'm like, I see this coming. I decided to switch out. I don't want to get. I'm very set up for an Aqua Jet right now. So I predicted the Aqua Jet. However, he goes to the Play Rough, probably predicting my switch, and that brings my Chrono. I switch in Chrono, and it gets brought down to Sash range. For God's sakes, why not to make that prediction? But anyway, he gets hurt by a little bit of poison, and I just go for the knockoff. I'm like, I'll just KO it right now. So Azumarill goes down, and that's the end of the Azumarill. It was, oh, it was banded. Yeah. Okay, ringing some bells now. So he brings in the Aegislash now, and I'm like, well, what do? Do I switch out? Like, if I switch out, either way, the Shadow Sneak's real on this day. Like, Shadow Sneak is gonna take out my Crawdon, and if I decide to decide to switch out, it would have killed my Terrakion as well. So I'm like, I'll keep Terrakion sitting in the back for later. So Crawdon goes down, and the Shadow Sneak clearly. Well, I knew it would, but now I switch in the N3gro, and N3gro is still a threat. I mean, on the real, N3gro is still a threat. Some people don't realize that anymore. Especially my N3gro set. I love the N3gro set. It's nice and original. But anyway, he goes for that King Shield, and I just go for the Earthquake. So he's just more than less, just completely more than less delaying the inevitable. So I actually went for the Rock Slide here, predicting maybe the switch out because he thought I was going to go for another Earthquake. The switch out to the Thunderous. But anyway, I ended up getting the Flinch Hop here, which really helps my case. However, because I was not in a situation to take a Sacred Sword, that probably would have just ended me in my tracks here, because this does come down to the wire. So I go for an Earthquake and King Shield, no surprise there, but thanks to all the entry hazards, this Earthquake does just enough damage to take out that Aegislash. Just enough, let me tell you. So there goes that. And here's Nick's final Pokemon, Thunderous. Now, you guys might try to call me on this and say that I would have died. No, I would not have died if that hit. I have a calc. I live with almost half health. I'm a Salt Venom N3gro. But anyway, guys, that's the battle. Good game, Nick. Make sure to smash that like button, comment, rate, subscribe. Have a good one. PokeProdz out.